My friends, I'm back here. I don't know what happened to the internet. I'm actually not even in the bedroom because the internet connection there was not good. So I came to the living room hoping it was going to be good, and something happened and just abruptly disconnected and dropped all of you out of the video call. So I am sorry. I have no idea what happened. I think I was talking too much about my accident. And maybe the spirit said, let's cut this. It's too much. Let's focus on what is important. That's the only thing I think it's possible. But I don't know. Let's just hope the internet connection will be stable and we will be able to have the video working well again. So now everybody that was on the video disconnected. I had seen lots of names and everybody is gone. Anyway, let's hope they will reach to a point that they will be able to see there is another video, and I hope the internet will be good so we will be able to continue. So just as a reminder to you all, this is the video that we will talk about chapter 5 portion 3 of the book Among Brothers of Other Lands. We disconnected in the other video, but we are hoping that here it will be working fine. So let's see. So I just would like to invite you all to a quick prayer, and let's pray also for the internet, so we will be able to finish the study without a problem. If you have a bottle of water, please mentalize it and think the good spirits will be putting important medication for you, so you can drink this through the 2 weeks until we get here again. As soon as the water is finishing, before it's totally finished, you can put more water and then you do a prayer, and then it will be able to be replenished with the same medication. Okay? So let's just close our eyes for a few seconds and let's pray. Dear God, beloved Master Jesus, thank you so much for bringing us back here to the studies. Please, Master, help all of us to be able to connect mentally and spiritually with the studies of tonight, so we will all be able to benefit from it, and we will all get something positive that we will be able to use in our lives. Thank you so much. So be it. Very good, my friends. So let's go. Hello, let me say my hellos quickly, even if I had so many people here and everybody vanished. I don't know what happened to the internet. That's so bad. Hello, Saul. Matthew. Hello, Matthew. How are you? Very nice to see you here too. Carla. Hello, my dear Carla. Teresa. Hey, Teresa. I'm almost like the Queen Elizabeth, just like, no, they don't even like this. Stylish. Now I can hear you. Oh my goodness. So you could even hear in the other video. Let's hope the internet is better, guys. Let me know if it's bad. Then I will know that I need to buy some other kind of equipment to help with the internet. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, just a reminder, we usually do 45 minutes of the first book. That's the Among Brothers of Other Lands, and the other the other few minutes we do the Gospel according to Spiritism. But as you can see, it's already 9:15 and we did not do much. So let's go chapter 5. So this is just to remember, because there's such a long time. In this chapter 5, the title is 20 Subjects with William James. So in this time, Chico Xavier and Valdo Vieira, they were visiting New York, and they were visiting few Spiritist centers. And in one of these visits, the Spirit André Luiz actually interviewed the American physician that was deceased in 1910, and he asked these questions to him. And then Chico Xavier and Valdo put in paper, and now it's part of this book. So this is like a summary of what was going on. So there are, let me see here, there are 20 questions, and we stopped on question 13. We finished 13, so today is 14. So I will read each question and each answer, and then I will make a short comment. And if you want to say something, or if you want to ask any question, please post it there, and I will be paying attention so I can follow your questions as soon as we go through them, okay? Let me just make sure everything is fine. So Matthew said, I asked you in the last video if you were sleeping on trance when your angel visits you. I really want to do that too. No, no, Matthew, I was not sleeping. I was in the kitchen doing the gospel with my son, and he appeared. He appeared to me. I saw him, not my son. So this, when you're a medium, this is kind of common. But it's not that I really see him a lot. He usually whispers things, but this time he actually appeared because it was something important for me. So it was good that he kind of shook me. And of course I got curious. I wanted to know, wow, what was happening? And boom, he disappeared, because they give you glimpses. They are not going to give you everything. We have the free will to take the best of it. So we have to do our part. So Teresa said, another study I listened to the other day, the presenter discovered she could not use the Wi-Fi. Oh God, really? Oh my goodness. Well, you know, we are in a different house, and it seems the internet connection here is not the best, because the walls are very thick. But let's see how it's gonna be. Yeah, so 14 we finished, so we start 14 today. So let's go, question 14. It's on page 26 if you have the book. Question: would it be correct to rely on well-developed mediums to form outstanding centers for the demonstration of the survival? This was the question of the Spirit André Luiz to this American physician called, let me see his name, William James. And then he answered, we cannot overlook the fact that the mediumistic resources are comfort to all human beings. All human beings are mediums, but in different degrees. And then he continues, who apply the resources in accordance with their individual level of involvement. If a medium improves oneself, one will attract evolved spirits. To sustain the excellence in this matter is the same as to feed disputes over the ownership of psychic domains. So what he's basically saying is that we are all mediums in different degrees. Like I just mentioned about my guardian angel or my spiritual protector, I could see him, but my son could not. But we all have this mediumship in different levels, and we can also say intuition or premonition. So we have glimpses of a spiritual world, for example. But when we talk about mediums per se, we like to talk about the ones that are really more developed. So the ones that can hear, can see, can feel. So these are the ones that we mention, because they are the ones who are able to get communications, to get these beautiful books from the spiritual realm. And what he's saying here is that the mediumship is to everywhere, to everyone in the world. But the ones who are mediums more developed, they have this moral obligation to better themselves. So if there are two mediums, A and B, and both see, hear, whatever, they connect well with the spirits. But medium A is trying to better himself, is trying to have a better life, following moral virtues, is trying to avoid lots of horrible things. And medium B is not doing that well. Medium B is doing kinds of wrong things, and it's still living in a not very good life, keeps fighting with a lot of people. So medium A is trying to better himself. It's not perfect, but he's trying. And medium B is not trying at all. So medium A will be attracting better spirits, better connection. And medium B is also attracting spirits, but to that level, spirits that are not so well developed, spirits that kind of enjoy fights, enjoy negativity, enjoy problems. So the type of work that the medium A will be able to develop is very different than type of work that medium B will be developing. So basically is that what he's saying. And it depends on us, mediums, not just mediums, but us all, as to better ourselves. But when we talk about mediums, it's because they have more responsibility. You have more responsibility, especially if you're going to really develop this faculty, trying to help the spirits. So it's more responsibility for the ones that will start doing this type of work. And in Spiritism, we understand that we should never charge for any type of spiritual work that we develop, even like the healing passes that a lot of people call Reiki. In Spiritism, we do not charge for that because this is free. We should give for free what we received for free. So this is like a controversial when people say Reiki because they studied for that and they should charge for that. So yes, but then don't call it Spiritism. This is Reiki. You studied and you charge for that as your own conscience. Don't mention this is part of Spiritism. So when we go to the next question, he says, André Louis asks, we know that the medium has the duty to perfect oneself. Besides that, what is the fundamental requirement in the development of one's faculties? Like he wants to know, besides moral education, for example, what else is important to the development of mediumship itself? Let's see what he says. The development of psychic energies isn't difficult for the majority of the mediums. However, since the improvement broadens new horizons of human association, the hardest problem of the medium is, to my view, to keep loyalty to the good companions of the spirit world. And this is what I just mentioned about spirit A and spirit B. So let's imagine both are mediums, both are spiritist studies, and they are trying to go in the right pathway. But at one moment they split. So spirit A continue trying to go up, and spirit B starts like zigzagging a lot. So spirit A will be continue receiving help of more enlightened spirits, but spirit B is kind of up and down. So the level of spirits helping him will be not the same. So when you have mediumship more advanced, you can always make it better, because it's like everything else. You have the gift. So now you have to learn how to deal with it. So one thing is to have the gift. One thing is to have, I don't know, a Ferrari. And another thing is to know how to drive it. So the same thing with mediumship. You have the gift, but it takes time until you know how to use it and to protect yourself and to be able to help others. So it takes a lot of time and practice. So lots of mediums in the beginning, if they do not know they are mediums, and they get extremely scared because sometimes it comes little by little. You start seeing things here, things there, you hear things, but sometimes it's just boom. One day when you see it's like your bedroom is full of spirits trying to talk to you. It's happened to me. So it is difficult and then becomes very scary. But when you have the proper help, it's such a blessing, because then you understand, oh, I just need to learn how to deal with it. But the key fact is prayer. Prayer is the key fact. If some kind of mediumistic phenomena is happening to you and you are really stressed and you are afraid, you don't know how to do, you don't have a spirit center near to you, pray to your guardian angel, pray to God, pray to Jesus, and ask for help, ask for guidance, and somehow you will receive this guidance. And of course, nowadays, internet is such a blessing. You can just Google most of the things, and if you know anyone going through this type of issues, in Kardec Radio, you'll find a lot of help, a lot of studies that talk about it, and also Vanessa, me, so many other people would be able to help this person answering questions, giving books or lectures or anything. I didn't read any of the comments, and let's see here. I'm sorry. Let me see here, Teresa. Stop the number 14. Use data. Oh my God, use data. So Jailton, hello Jailton, nice to see you. Daniela Stefanelli, hello my dear. Carlos, hello, Carlos Baruchi, nice to have you here. Carla returned, awesome. So Saul said, well, very clear, thank you. Medium A and medium B. I left the medium B a long time ago. I am an A now, trying hard to do better. Very good, Saul, you are awesome. You are awesome. And I'm not saying that we will be perfect. I'm just saying that we are trying to improve ourselves. If you read the gospel, where are the good persons and the good spiritists? The good person have a series of qualities, and then you read and you're like, oh my God, this person is almost perfect. And then you see the good spiritist. The good spiritist has all the qualities of the good person and the duties of the good spiritist, because we know the law of cause and effect and everything else. But the most important thing the Spirit said is not the person will be perfect like this, because it does not happen, but it's the person to understand a moment that we fall because we made something bad, we stand up again, we pray and we ask for help. God, help me to not repeat this mistake again, and move on, because that's how a person gets better. You made a mistake, okay, I don't want to think about that anymore. I'm so sorry, whatever, but I will continue, and I'm not going to do the same mistake. I might do different ones, but this one I will not repeat, and continue. And that's how to be a good medium A. So let's go to 16. How do you analyze the intellectual and physical mediumship? And then William James answered, every mediumistic faculty is important, but I believe that without correct discretion, physical mediumship may hardly improve our inner world. On the contrary, I understand the intellectual mediumship by accessing superior knowledge should be widely cultivated to the physical mediumship should not morally confuse the creatures provisionally attached to the physical world. So what is he trying to explain here? He's talking about the mediumistic faculty is important. So the difference between intellectual mediumship and physical mediumship. The mediumship shall hardly improve. On the contrary, intellectual mediumship through the knowledge and physical mediumship. So intellectual mediumship is like the mediumship connected really with the moral knowledge and the knowledge itself. So we always talk about that the good spiritist and the good medium, they should deeply know what is Spiritism, how it started, who were the important people, and also what makes a good person and a good spiritist, all the qualities. And what I just mentioned, we are not perfect, but we are trying to improve ourselves on a daily basis. Physical mediumship, he talks more about the physical phenomena. Like in the past, there were lots of table turning. Remember that that's how the Kardec starts to get involvement in the turning table movement in Paris, France. So lots of mediumistic physical things like objects moving, or also when mediums are able through their fluids, that the ectoplasm that comes from through the opening of the body, to be able to materialize spirits. So this phenomena is beautiful, it's very interesting, but this phenomena is not the most important phenomena, especially nowadays for us. We already know that the people, they only believe in something when they are prepared. If they are not prepared and they will see a spirit materialized, they will see they were hallucinating, it was a lie, they will say everything because they are not prepared to understand that. And when we talk about the moral qualities and the intellectual qualities, even in a conversation, sometimes there are people who say, I don't believe, but they start asking questions. And when you start answering the questions with your own experience and saying that I don't want to make anyone to become a spiritist, I am spiritist because I believe in this. And then you start saying, because I understand the law of reincarnation, and whatever you want to approach that person. Many times this person agrees, or many times this person's like, interesting, or the person say, yeah, these questions are very interesting, I want to research about it, I would like to have more answers. So this is the type of mediumship that we should focus for our benefit and for the benefit of spiritism in general. We understand that the turning table is not necessary anymore because of it. Question 17. What do you believe is the main task of mediumship in the spiritist work? Answer. Concerning the present society, I believe that mediumship is a call to the enlightenment of people, being especially useful in obsessional occurrences that amount to thousands in every part of the world. So this is beautiful. This is what we really use mediumship. Mediumship, the spirits tell us that the mediumship is to help us, incarnated spirits. And we think, the incarnated spirits think, oh, we are here because we are helping the spirits. They need our help. They need some clarification. They need a connection with the physical body of the medium. But the spirits tell us it's not that important. Yes, it's very good. There's many spirits, they need this. Many spirits don't even understand they are dead. But the main thing really is for the spirits incarnated in the mediumship meeting to understand what happens to us when we die. So why these spirits with so many different types of suffering are brought to a mediumship meeting? Because they were living a life they thought was normal, they thought was good, and when they reach to the spiritual realm, they are in pain, they are suffering. So they come and they tell us the story. Oh, I did this, I did that, now I'm in the darkness, now I'm suffering. Or they come still full of hate. I hate that man, he killed my sister. So when we hear all the stories and we hear their pain, it's painful for us. And we're like, oh my God, we don't want this. So we want to try to do the best we can in our lives, avoiding those problems. And you know, to most of the people who also work in spiritist centers, we are very connected with charitable work. So if we know we were able to help, even if just a tiny little bit, a spirit, this is such a good thing. We feel so happy that we were able to give a glimpse of love to that spirit. So the mediumistic meetings are very important for all of us. And imagine to the obsessed people, the obsessed incarnated and the obsessed discarnated. So when a spirit that's obsessing a incarnated gets treatment, when he is received, when he is clarified, when he is able to see things in a different way, he continues his pathway to the enlightenment, and he leaves the obsessed person. So that person who is very sick now is free. And then the spirit who was obsessing goes to treatment to be able to go to a next level. So this is a blessing to everyone. And God knows everything. So this person is having a second chance. But if this obsessed person don't realize what he was doing wrong to attract that type of obsession, if she doesn't change this, another spirit will come and another obsession will happen. So that's why in Spiritism we say, listen, you are good now, but you should try to follow good rules. You know, everybody that goes to spiritist centers and they do treatments, people in the spiritist center say you should continue coming, you should continue studying, you should read this book or listen to a lecture. Unfortunately, lots of people feel like, oh, now I'm free, oh, let's go back to my old life. And unfortunately, then like 3-4 months later, they are back in the spiritist center because they are feeling sick again. So this is how important for us to understand what we did and how to change this pathway, because that spirit was helped. But if you don't help yourself, another problem will come. So we have to be very careful with this. Alicia Ramos, hello Alicia, very, very nice to have you here. Let's go. Question 19. When do you believe Spiritism will be better known on earth? Oh wait, is that one? No, it's not that one. I jumped, I skipped the one, sorry. We have to go to 18. Is the spoken language a decisive communication factor among discarnates living in a certain country through mediums situated in different countries? Answer. We know that thought is a universal language. However, this is an immediate reality under well-trained telepathy. One can calm down a sick person by mental suggestion of ideas of peace and optimism, cure and hope, but it will be very difficult to convince the sick person regarding treatment without using one's own language. On the other hand, xenoglossy may be obtained very easily as if by order. We must understand that in the present stages of human development, language barriers are an inevitable limitation. Since incarnates are tightly bound to their home environment, in this, let me read this sentence again. In the present stage, the language barriers are an inevitable limitation, since incarnates are tightly bound to their home environment. In this way, spirit friends living in the United States should learn Portuguese to communicate with their neighbors in Brazil and vice versa. This is an obvious need in the common system of linguistics communication, since progress doesn't know miracles. So, I don't know if you guys know what xenoglossy is, but xenoglossy is the type of a mediumship that the medium is able to speak or to write in different languages. And sometimes languages that she does not speak in this lifetime, but it already spoke in other lifetimes. Chico Xavier did not know English, and many times he did lots of communications in English, he did in French, he did in other languages. The same thing, Divaldo Franco, and he does not speak the other languages. So this is called xenoglossy. And we also know that the communication of the elevated spirits is the thought. So you think and they can see it. They read our thoughts. That's why in the spiritual realm, when we are brought to elevated places, no spirit will be talking, because they only look at each other and they are already communicating. So when we go to certain levels of the spiritual realm, we look and we are like mesmerized, and our thoughts are like little balloons, like cartoons, really. You have the balloons of my thoughts here. So it's better you control yourself and have good thoughts, because all the elevated spirits will be reading your thoughts. But the spirits that are not elevated, they cannot do that. First of all, they cannot read thoughts, and they cannot understand different languages. So for example, when we do the gospel at home, we have to talk, even if you're doing the gospel alone. If you are alone in your house, you have to talk, because the spirits are brought to your house to listen to your voice, to understand what you were talking. So it's almost like our gospel is a school. Other spirits are brought by our guardian angels to learn with us. And the enlightened spirits, they purify our home, they protect our home when we are doing the gospel. That's why it's so important. In our mediumistic meeting, few weeks ago, we received the spirits that only spoke Spanish, and our meeting is in English. And it was very difficult. The spirit tried super hard to speak English, try, and was getting frustrated because she couldn't talk in English. And the dialoguer is trying in his broken Spanish to understand. So it was very frustrating for both parts, until one person that spoke Spanish was able to come and help. And it was so beautiful, because the Spanish lady who was the spirit, she was so thankful, and she, after a long communication, she imagined the American person that's actually English person from England that was talking to her was an angel, and she was telling the lady that spoke Spanish, please say thank you to the English angel, because I could not communicate with him. So it was so cute. So this is just for us to understand that we receive what we can offer. So the spirits brought the enlightened spirits, the guides of the meeting, brought a spirit that spoke only Spanish because there was someone there that could help. So that's how things happen. If it wasn't like this, then they would somehow help with this spirit to speak English, or they would take this spirit to a spirit center that the official language is actually Spanish. So this is interesting for us to understand about the mediumistic phenomena and xenoglasy. Hello, Elisa. Nice to see you here. I have to pay attention on the time. Okay, so let's go to 19. When do you believe Spiritism will be better known on the earth? So James answer. That depends on time and goodwill of people. Whatever creature can delay his access to the gate of truth, but none can flee from it. So, wow, that's a great one. So, when do you believe Spiritism will be better known on earth? Depends on us, depends on all of us. So, as we better ourselves, we will be spreading the good news. And as the spirits told us, in the future, Spiritism will not be the only religion, the only philosophy of life, but it will be one of many. But what will happen in the future is because we will be embracing ourselves. We will be respecting each other. All the religions, we will be respecting each other, and we will know the existence of all religions. And we will be like really a brotherly figure of the religions, because then the Catholicism, Buddhism, Spiritism, they will all get together with the things they have in common. So this is beautiful. It depends on all of us. So we will be spreading the good news, and the materialistic people who do not believe in God or who do not believe in afterlife, they will be minimized, will be really little, until one day that they will not exist, basically. Not saying they will not exist, still there is always people with hard head everywhere, so they will be here, but it will be so minimal that they will feel kind of pressure, like are all those people crazy, or and I'm the one crazy, and she will be questioning about that. So it's interesting to think about that. And the last question is, do you have a last word to the Brazilian fellows, both discarnate and incarnate, working in the spiritist fields of action? This is funny, because who was asking this question was André Luiz, who is Brazilian, and he was mentioned about discarnate himself, and incarnate was Chico Xavier and Valdo Vieira, mediums. So William James, American physician, answers. We have learned that sound and steady buildings don't come up by improvisation. The spiritist work requires plantation of spiritist principles. And there is no efficient plantation without dedicated farmers. We should broaden our area of help and elevate the level of understanding toward our responsibilities in the spiritist work. If we do what we wish only, we will only own, if we do what we wish only, we will own that which we do. The laws of the universe are fair. I believe we can summarize the main rules of work in the following program. to feel with self-control, to think with elevation, to speak constructively, to study always, and to serve more. Wow, beautiful and powerful. So it was, the communication was in New York City, New York, in July 27, 1965. So basically what he is saying is that to have a beautiful building, a very strong building like we have in New York City, that super, super tall buildings, you need to have a very solid foundation, a very good foundation to be able to start growing. And everything it's like this, and in Spiritism also is like this. So we have beautiful examples of people that are doing a great job. We have the marvelous example of Chico Xavier, who wrote more than 440 books, and many of these books are being translated to many different languages. We have nowadays the medium Divaldo Franco, who travels all over the world doing conferences of hours, and he is 92 years old. So think about when you go out on vacation and you take a plane, and you know because of security reasons you have to arrive in the airport 2-3 hours before, and you have to wait, and the long lines, and carrying the luggage and transportation. It's very tiring. When you arrive in your destination, you just want to sleep because you are exhausted. And we are young. So imagine Divaldo Franco, 92 years old, traveling all over the world. And until last year or 2 years ago, he traveled coach. You know, coach, you are sitting like this, and to sleep is like this. And he travels to Japan, he travels to Europe, like 10 hours, 20 hours in a plane. It's a lot of sacrifice for a man of his age, but he does it so happy, and he brings so much joy to all of us that we hear him. It's just like when you hear him, it's like you feel this happiness, this internal happiness, and you think, my God, this man, he is so much older, and he's doing so good, and he's sacrificing himself. People only think, oh, he's traveling around the world enjoying la vida loca. What is not true? Many times he is so busy that he only comes from one event to another event, and he spends 2 days in one city and he goes to another. He is not sightseeing. He is from the hotel to the place. It's very tiring. So thank you so much for sending these great people to help us. And we know nowadays, modern times, we have the blessing of internet. I know Facebook is addicted and so many other tools of social media, but we have to learn how to control ourselves. You know, internet can be like an addiction. It's true, it's proven. We walk around with our cell phones, so we have to control ourselves and do good usage of it. Look at us, we are via Facebook doing good, studying, improving ourselves. And this marvelous tool that we have, that's Kardec Radio, where in only one place we are able to have so many different studies, so many different books, lectures. This is a blessing. So this is the way that we can also spread the good news. We can share when we like something, we can share with people that live in other countries, in other cities, so they can also join, they can also benefit from it. So we are all doing our little part. The important thing is that we do not stop. We continue. So we will do chapter 6 next time. We have about 6 minutes to do the gospel. Let's go, quick. So we are in chapter 5. The title is Blessed Are the Afflicted. Yay! Blessed are the afflicted. That's good. Good news, good news, good news. So this portion that we are is number 11, forgetfulness of the past. And this is one of the things that I was always like, why do we have to forget our past? I wanted so much to know. I wanted so much to know everything, what was in my previous lives. And it's funny because I never really thought, oh, I was a princess or whatever. No, I just wanted to know in which countries I lived, in which years, what kind of life, curiosity. But with the time, with the study, we understand that if we are difficult in this lifetime, if we have problems in this lifetime, imagining the past, because we understand that every time we get a little bit better. Some people get a lot better, other people get a little bit better. So every time you go back, it's more problems and more problems. So the forgetfulness of the past is actually a blessing for us. It's really a blessing, because it would be very difficult for us to incarnate in a family that we discover our father maybe killed us in one of our lives. How would you love this father? So if this really happened in this lifetime, you're having issues with this father. You don't understand why you get angry at him. He does not understand why he has this animosity with you. But we are father and daughter. So you have to overcome it. So you both have to try very hard to forgive each other, because only like this will free these two people from this bad relationship, and maybe in the next life it will be easier. All this negativity will disappear because they learn how to forgive themselves. So this is why the forgetfulness of the past. So I will read just little things that are important here. So for example, and this the second paragraph says, a spirit is frequently reborn into the same environment in which it has already lived. And finds itself in relationships with the same individuals in order to repair the evil it did. So there are many books that talk about reincarnation, but there is medium, very famous in Brazil. Her name is Ivone do Amaral Pereira. And she's psychographic, many books. But 3 books she did about her own life. She does not specify this, but then later on we discovered that was about her own life. And in many lifetimes she killed herself. So it's really interesting if you could read those books. Unfortunately, I don't know the name of the books in English. In Portuguese, the first one is Candeiro de Lumières. The second book is Drama da Bretanha. And the third one is Nas Voragens do Destino. But if you do Ivone do Amaral Pereira, Life Stories, then it will probably appear in English. I believe at least one of the books, it's already in English. Amazing stories. And you can see the pain of one lifetime going in a different environment, but with the same spirits, but in different positions. So imagine who was a brother, now is a father, who was a husband, now is a son. So, but the same spirits reincarnate together. So they had to wait for all the spirits to discarnate, to stay a certain amount of time in the spiritual realm, trying to learn, trying to benefit themselves, and then boom, they come back again in different positions together, so they can learn together. Extremely interesting. And the second page, we have like 1 minute. The second page, furthermore, this forgetfulness occurs only during the corporeal life. Upon re-entering the spiritual life, the spirits reacquire its memories of the past. So this is good. So our curiosity here on earth, as soon as we go to the spiritual realm, woo, we will discover everything. Don't worry, be happy, and we know it's not all good, but we know we are improving. We know we are getting better. This is the important thing. So my friends, I am so happy to have been able to be here with you guys. It's always a blessing to be able to study these beautiful books. And I sincerely hope that I will be able to continue on our 2 weeks basis, and we will continue next time, chapter 6. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much. God bless all of you, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. God bless you.